if you find yourself with a camera in your hand and you want to learn how to use it, please subscribe to this channel, like the videos, comment down below what you would like to learn more about. Hi Photos photographers. Today we are talking and answering the question, what makes a good photography website? So what makes a good photography website? I would say a good photography website is a simple one. So perhaps start out only with 3 sections of your website. I wouldn't necessarily even make them separate pages, just perhaps one is a little further down the page to scroll to than the other. But perhaps you want to make it a single page website. That's fine too. The key to what I've found recently is the simpler the website, the better. So your landing page, your home page, quote unquote, would be perhaps the products that you're selling, if you sell products through your website. If you're selling services, so you're doing portrait sessions, that would be one part of the home page, your landing page, whatever that would be. So you would be able to give package descriptions of how many images they get and that sort of stuff, the amount of time that shoot would be, if that's at a location or if it's in studio. You get the drift. If you're selling nature shots like landscapes or wildlife shots or astronomy photography, then that would be something else. You would be able to show those images there in kind of a thumbnail catalog with prices listed. But the other 2 things that I would suggest is, if you want to show your capabilities on your website, then have your 3rd page as portfolio, or maybe you want to use that as a 2nd page. But the last thing that I would include in a professional photography website, and what I think would make a great one personally, is people want to get to know the photographer that they buy images from or that do their portraiture. Even if it's more of a type of social media following, they prefer to follow the photographer. They still want to know something about them because that's what draws any kind of personal identification with an individual. So have an about page. What got you into photography? What photography do you like? What is it that draws and sets your style apart from other photographers? What's your experience in photography been? Have you worked professionally in a studio? Have you always worked out of your own, or are you building your own studio? And I think those would be very good things to put in your about page to talk about yourself in the aspects of how you got to be where you are in photography and what the specific detail about your photography is that sets you apart from everybody else. Was it something early on in your childhood that drew you into photography, or was it perhaps somebody that influenced you toward photography? I know specifically for me, I remember going to photography studios to do shots of, I guess, cataloging my growing up. But I also have strong memories, and a majority of my memories about photography are my dad setting up his own film camera and using his film camera with a onboard flash or off-camera flash to be able to do our family portraiture for holiday cards or anything else, even just an annual family portrait. I was intrigued. I knew my dad did one thing as a vocation, but here his hobby was photography, and that seemed totally different to me. I didn't connect the two. But that's in some ways how and why I love talking about the technical side of photography, is because my dad was an electrical engineer, and here he loved photography, so he knew the details and the background and the mathematics of photography. The artistry wasn't so much his hobby. He didn't like the artistry of photography so much. He loved being able to execute a good photograph. And so you could definitely see he was more of a technical shooter instead of an artsy shooter. but it's been my experience that any of the good artists of photography that shoot for artistry also do very well at the technical execution. So that's what I've been working toward my whole career, and that's something that I would explain in my about page, is what I came from. In other words, of my background in photography, what got me interested. My style is strong performance on the technical side of photography, but learning the talent to build into that technical exposure the art of showcasing someone or something. So those would be the three things I would encourage you to look at. And if there's anything else that you think would be valuable in adding to the website, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I would love to read some of your comments about what you think a great website is made of. We're not getting into the technical side of coding the website or the best websites to build a portfolio on. Perhaps that would actually be a good thing to discuss later on. So if y'all want any tips or suggestions about the best platforms to build your website on, leave me a comment and let me know. If you think there are better than others that you've found so far, let me know about those too, and we'll add those into our viewing and our listing of the options and the availability for photographers. But the other thing is, if you're not a subscriber, we would love to have your subscription. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for your subscription. We look forward to sharing so much more content, and we hope that it is valuable, that this content has added something to your photography. If it has, again, we would love your like on this video. And if it's added content to this content has added value to your photography and you're not a subscriber, we would love to have you on this journey with us as we continue talking about leveling up our photography from wherever we are. You found a camera in your hand. Let's improve our skill. Thank you so much. God bless.